Hey guys, and boy oh boy do I have a treat for you today. We have the Might of Alfredino leading the forces of Bretonnia up against Razel and the Warriors of Chaos in an ODM showdown. Should be a good fun game. It's a rather interesting matchup. It often comes down to, can you assassinate the Fey Enchantress or not? Otherwise she will eviscerate you. So let's have a quick little look at the builds. It looks like the battle is going to get underway rather quickly. We'll actually pop this into pause. So for the forces of Bretonnia, we have mounted Yeoman archers, units you don't get to see terribly often. They're even bringing in their Regiment of Renowned variety, and I think these guys are absolutely pivotal here to help push away enemy skirmishers. For those who don't know, the current meta is very skirmish cavalry heavy, so even if you don't think you can win the skirmish phase, using cheaper units to fend off the enemy skirmishers can certainly be worth it. For the rest of the Bretonnian forces, we have peasant mobs dotted all the way along, and the main battle line shall be foot squires. No way! I never see foot squires perform. I'm going to be very interested to see how they work here. And they are anti-infantry armor piercing, so should do rather well up against the Chaos Warriors. Peasant bowmen with pox arrows shall be making a cheeky little vanguard here alongside double questing knights who have fallen in line behind their lady. Double Paladin shall be on a bodyguard duty. Looks like one does have Guardian. And the Fey Enchantress on her glorious unicorn in slow motion here. Coming in with Favour of the Fey, the Dwellers Below, and Earthblood. It's so fun to see that Dwellers Below is actually a item, or magic spell I should say, which gets picked rather often now. It's been a spell which has been out of the meta for a long time, but is certainly making a bit of a comeback. For the force of the Warriors of Chaos, we do have Marauder Horsemen. Looks like we have the Thrown Axe variety here for a bit more AP on the right-hand side, protected by the double Chaos Warhounds. Main battle line is rather short, made up of Chaos Marauders with great weapons, and then Chaos Warriors with halberds in the back line. Bad to the bones, elite Chaos Warriors here to spill blood in the name of the Blood God. We did some Chaos Chariots as well, which is rather interesting. Don't get to see them too often, so rather excited to see how they perform today. And matching the opponent's hero core, we have double Exalted Hero. Looks like neither of them have Mark of Khorne, so just basic guys there. And Archaon the Ever-Chosen, coming with Slayer of Kings, Stand or Die, and Burn in the Head. I think this is a pretty cool idea, kind of, this hero core to take on the Bretonnian forces. The Mounted Yeoman shall be driving away the Marauder Horsemen with Thrown Axes, who don't have the greatest range on them, so the Horsemen should certainly be able to do a decent job there. Chaos Warhounds do bound forward, looking to get their teeth wet with Yeoman blood, but the Yeoman archers do fall back. Good micro control so far by both players in the early skirmish phase. Chaos Chariots are starting to push forward on the left-hand flank. They're going to have a whale of a time running over the majority of this infantry. So Questing Knights are forced out to that flank as well to help protect their brothers in arms. So it's fun to see these top-tier players and how they set up and how patient they are trying to get the best engagements. It looks like the Chaos Marauders weapons are taking quite a pounding now. These guys only have 15 armor and no shields, so Yeoman are having a whale of a time. Horsemen going to push up to put a little bit of pressure on them before darting away to try and avoid enemy fire coming in, and with the Warhounds as well. But the early skirmish phase seems to be going in favour at the moment of Bretonnia, very slightly here. Questing Knights are going to be charging down, trying to get to grips with the Chaos Chariot, who is going to be desperately falling back to friendly territory. Of course, there are the halberds nearby, so the Questing Knights do give up the pursuit as the Warriors of Chaos start to rotate their build round, looking to get to grips with the forces of Bretonnia. Yeomen are pouring in fire still. Chaos Marauders are taking quite a pounding at the moment. And likewise, the halberds, yes, they have 100 armor, but no shields. This is a very lightly shielded, in fact, barely any shields in the entire Force Chaos build. So these mad yeomen are certainly going to have an absolute whale of a time. Foot squires continue to rotate round as well, looking to get as much value where we can from the mounted yeomen. But this is a little bit risky as well from Bretonnia, because if they use up all their ammunition, they have nothing to fend off the Marauder Horsemen with Thrown Axes, which could be quite bad. Questing Knights have gone balls to the wall, hunting down the chariot and take some damage, but unfortunately for them, have now been caught by the Exalted Heroes and Archaon the Ever-Chosen, with the Warhounds popping on top. These Questing Knights are not going to be having a good time whatsoever. You can see them getting torn apart, but because the hero core has been pulled out to the right-hand side, that does now buy time for the Fey Enchantress and her Paladins to strike at the very heart of the Chaos forces. Those Marauders nearly getting broken off. So I like the counter-punch coming in from the Bretonnians, but it wasn't worth it for the loss of the Questing Knights. One Warhound needs to stay on this and I think hunt these guys down. Looks like they're giving up the pursuit, but that's 15 Questing Knights who can come back into the fray, but instead they're looking to try to seal the deal early here by surrounding these Questing Knights. And the ones on the far side have indeed come back. A load of fire has been poured in now by a mixture of the Peasant Bowmen as well as the Mounted Yeomen, raining fire down on those Chaos Warriors with halberds, doing some pretty solid damage there. The Warhounds are getting really aggressive now, driving forward with the chariots, trying to tease in another engagement with the Question Knights, knowing that the Exalted Hero and Archaon, the ever-chosen support, is nearby. The Question Knights are going to be taking this fight, it seems. Chaos Warhounds pull back, likewise do the Chariots, leaving the Hero Core behind, who quite happily devour Question Knights. But not if Paladins and Fey Enchantress are here in support, and it seems like Chaos, yes, they've taken a bit of a pounding on the approach, but they've done massive damage here to both units of Question Knights, doing some good work there. The Archers, though, do manage to finish off the Chaos Marauders in the back line, but now the Chariots are loose. Let loose the Chariots of War. And the Peasant Bowmen, unfortunately, are getting absolutely decimated now, which you would expect, obviously, getting trodden underneath Ethereal Hoof and Mighty Wheel. Paladins, as well as Fey Enchantress, are trying to drive them off, and on this flank now, some rather brave peasants here are being kept in place to hold Archaon and Exalted Hero away here from the Question Knights who do fall back. And remember, there is plenty of healing for the forces of Bretonnia, but none for the forces of Chaos here. Chaos Warhounds do devour Foot Squires on the flanks, and it looks like a lot of the Bretonnian forces are in deep retreat at the moment. Fey Enchantress and our Paladin once again continue to hunt down these Chariots. It seems like they think they're quite a high priority threat here, and I do agree, because they can really run havoc, I suppose, in the back lines and do some good cycle charging. Frontline is finally underway, which I'm sure the Chaos will be very happy about, but a lot of their troops are very beat up at the moment. Foot Squires swirling those two-handed blades over their head and doing some pretty good damage here. The other Foot Squires, though, simply outmatched by the Hero Core and Chaos Warriors, doing some good work on this side. Horsemen do a cheeky little cycle charge into the front of the Foot Squires, allowing the Chaos Warriors of Halberds to disengage and float out over to the middle of the board. And looks like we have some of the Chaos Warhounds as well, looking to sacrifice their lives maybe after the mounted Yeoman and trying to get them to waste ammunition. But instead, the Yeoman think, you know what, we're fancying a bit of a charge here and actually pushing forward, trying to drive away the Warhounds, but decide to fall back with so many horsemen with thrown axes nearby. More horsemen continue to pour fire into Foot Squires as well as the Hero Core. It looks like the Battle of the Heroes has finally begun. Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, jumps in, trying to deal with this Paladin, and he'll certainly be able to take them to pieces, but a Fat Earth Blood does go down, healing these guys up. Apologies for the sirens in the background. I do live right next to a hospital and police station, but they will be gone in just a second. Big Fat Dwellers does go down here, catching those Chaos Warriors of Halberds who take pretty huge damage on both units as well. Thrown axes, though, are currently free to fire in. Foot Squires are getting picked apart now, and the Hero Core for Chaos is really healthy, but likewise, same for Bretonnia. There is one Chariot left alive, and they've done some good backline harass and been super annoying, but at the same time, Alfredino has kind of ushered them into kind of dangerous situations multiple times, and now allowing his Paladin and Fae to really finish off the Chariot threat. Halberds are driving forwards, but they are now slightly isolated and alone away from their buddies. Question Knights with Fade of the Fae are going to pop on top of them, and yeah, Question Knights, it doesn't matter if you have a big halberd, these guys will charge headlong into you with absolutely no fear. But the Double Exalted Heroes may be able to pop a little bit of fear into them at least, particularly with the Ever-Chosen under tow, where the Ever-Chosen has pushed forward a little bit more into enemy territory, and the Question Knights seem to be a little bit doomed. Chaos Warriors of Halberds once again taking huge pressure. I'm really interested to see how much damage value these Yeoman archers got at the end of the day. They do charge into the Chaos Warhounds, shattering them, which is good to see, and it looks like Foot Squires have rallied to the cries of the Yeoman here and the Lady. And Earthblood's going to go down. It looks like it does catch all the units, though it did kind of get dragged away a little bit here. And the Battle Art Age once again is going down. Halberds are rushing to support though, and they can make a big difference. We have throwing axes coming in here as well, and the Question Knights, rather wisely I think, decide to disengage and fall back. And it looks like the Paladins, oof, one took quite a pounding there from the Ever-Chosen, but likewise, Ever-Chosen did get some damage dished out onto him, and the Fey Enchantress is very healthy at the moment. Mounted Yeoman archers vibing, shooting, doing their best here to pull down the Warriors of Chaos, and they're doing a fantastic job. There's been some great micros so far by both players. One of the horsemen with thrown axes just trying to stop these Foot Squires coming back into the fray. A frontal charge might be enough to break these guys off the battlefield as well, whilst saving ammunition. Foot Squires here are going to be going down. More of the horsemen have used up all of their axes, which is rather impressive here actually from the Chaos player, due to how much pressure was applied to them early on by the mounted Yeoman. Seems like one Paladin has been dealt a killing blow, but likewise an Exalted Hero may well be going down, and the Ever-Chosen is getting dangerously low, but he is slapping that Paladin here, trying to get the second kill. And if you can drag down 2 Paladins for the life of 1 Exalted Hero, I think it'll be very, very much worth it. It looks like he may just get that. But no, the Paladin rallies on the very edge of the battlefield. This could be called disaster for the Chaos, because we could well see a big heal coming down by the Fey Enchantress and Earthblood to heal up both Paladins. Exalted Hero trying to drive forward, but the Mounted Yeoman putting their lives on the line for the upper classes of the Paladins. Charging in, boxing the Exalted Hero in place, and the fight once again continues. This has been a running battle for the entirety of the game so far, and he did indeed save that Paladin. That is massive, because now Favour of the Fae has been popped on him. He can come back into the fight once more, and now it is Archaon's turn to be surrounded, but the Slayer of Kings is popped. He kills one Paladin pretty much there. Looks like he's certainly going to be shattered and fleeing. With Slayer of Kings active, he can do some glorious work, and he's really trying his best here to engage the Paladin and Fae core. Though, of course, that big drain really is starting to come into effect. You can see that down here. They also lose that -5 melee attack, which is pretty massive. Two heroes facing two heroes. The Exalted Hero and the Paladin, and the Ever-Chosen and Fey Enchantress. And it looks like the Fey Enchantress is actually blocking the way here, saving the Paladin, but likewise taking a ton of damage. A Burning Head is attempted to cast down as those Yeomen come in, but it seems like for the most part the micromanagement of Alfredino is not going to let him down here, and those Yeoman archers will retreat. Horseman action going down this flank as well. Wardens of Montfort aren't actually terrible in combat, because of course they have those triple gold chevrons. It looks like, oh my god, one unit on either side is breaking, and a big melee engagement does go down here as well. The Mounted Yeoman trying to work as a buffer for the Paladin and the Fae, but it looks like they're going to be wavering. Exalted Hero getting deadly low, so is the Ever-Chosen. Stand or Die has been popped on both of them, and in the background it looks like that horse game was won by Bretonnia, with some foot squires coming in. But one Paladin has been dealt a final blow, and he's going to be chased off the battlefield, shattering and not having a great day. My god, this battle is insane! It's so close! Fey Enchantress needs to be very careful now. If she gets assassinated by the Ever-Chosen and the Exalted Hero, it is game over. The force of Bretonnia will not stand, they will break. It looks like some of them trying to finish off some more troops, but these guys actually already are shattered. Look, you can see already the Man Yeoman are wavering. We do have some ammunition left on these Peasant Bowmen. A Burning Head could be really clutch here as well if the Ever-Chosen can pop one off at the right moment. And he's juking back and forth, just trying to avoid as much of that missile pressure as possible. And it seems like poison didn't go down on any of them, so it was a well-timed dodge. The Enchantress is running! Come back here! He screams. But the Yeoman, once again, Yeoman really MVP so far today, do come in here and box in these champions, allowing the Fae to escape. But Burning Head's going to come down and free up these guys once more. And oof, that does roast quite a few there of the Bretonnian remaining troops. Foot Squires did have Fae the Fae popped on them, but it's not going to keep them alive. Ever-Chosen is going to have to get his work cut out, though, because the Exalted Hero just took a massive frontal charge from the Fey Enchantress. More Yeoman slamming in behind, and the Fae will be retreating once more. This is buying more and more time as well for the Peasant Bowmen to fire those shots in and apply that poison. It looks like the Exalted Hero has met his match in the form of the Fey Enchantress. Ever-Chosen tries to get a little stab in, but he is now alone in the world with no friends to guide or help him. And we all know about the power of friendship, and I think it's looking a little bit bleak for the Ever-Chosen. There's a load of cycle charging which can come in. I doubt he has much Winds of Magic left. The Peasant Bowmen are back, and the Fae can continue to cycle. It's going to be really scary, though. Every time she comes in, Standard Eye has been popped, and if she gets one big hit here, she could well indeed break with only 900 HP. And now Archaon is slaughtering those Yeoman archers. You did good, buddies, you were brave, but alas, it seems like you are no match for the mighty man himself. Peasants, only 3 volleys left. It might be well worth charging into them and break them, just because, I mean, poison's really annoying, and he can't catch too much else. And Earthblood does go down. It's more important that it catches the Fae. But again, you know, Yeoman, Peasants, health is health at the end of the day. But a big Burning Head once again is going to come down the line. And oh, it looks like Bretonnia tried juking, but a tad late. That's going to break off both these units and once again leave the Fae alone. She is wavering down to just 14 leadership. The Ever-Chosen smells of victory and blood. I guess both Finns are kind of, you know, work together when it comes down to chaos. Fae comes with another charge and once again gets a beautiful connection there. Every time she comes in, the Ever-Chosen tries to hit her, but the Wardens of Montfort are here to guard her life. But oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 peasants die per swing of Archaon's magical sword. And the Slayer of Kings trying to become the Slayer of Enchantresses. But this brave Warden, he paid with his life, but he did defend the Enchantress there. I think there's nothing else left on the battlefield. Once again, the Fae does cycle in. Archon down to just 300 HP. He's starting to waver here. Fae only 690, but it's due to some beautiful, beautiful late game cycle charging from the Fae. They just about managed to break the Ever-Chosen. My god! I'm almost speechless. What a game. Well played to these two champs. That was a fantastic performance by both Alfredino and Razel here. Apologies if I am saying either of your names wrong, by the way. But yeah, fantastic display, man. That was a real treat. What did you guys think of that one? We're going to get to the damage dealt and damage value in just a second. I'm particularly interested to see those mounted yeoman value. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe as well if you do enjoy all this glorious Total War Warhammer content. We're probably going to be doing a giveaway in a little while. We've got a little bit of a wait, but once we hit about 7.5k subs, I think we'll be doing another duck giveaway. And again, it keeps you guys up to date because we will be covering all things with the new DLC and Total War Warhammer 3. Feel free to comment down below, who was your MVP? What was your favourite moment? Are you, like me, also having a heart attack over how close that battle was? That was absolutely insane. But yeah, let me know down below in the comments, or just feel free to quack at me. I really enjoy reading through them all. There's also links in the description to my Patreon where you can support the channel. A Games Planet account is where you can support the channel and get discounts on the upcoming Total War DLC and Total War Warhammer 3 and all that good stuff. And also links to my Discord where you can submit replays just like Alfredino did. And also chill out with a load of cool people, hone your skills, see a load of pictures of ducks, and just generally keep up to date with the channel. But on to the real reason we're all here. Fae Enchantress, just shy of 3,000 damage value, 15k damage dealt, and 117 kills. Masterful play with her. Not just charging her in headlong, recklessly into dangerous situations, but using her correctly, hunting down enemy targets with the assistance of the Paladins, who unfortunately took a bit of a beating here for their lady. Just shy of 500 damage value here, 861 on the other unit. Peasant mobs across the board, obviously not going to be getting too much damage value, but this peasant mob, 10 kills, blimey. The survivors there will definitely be going home to tell their townsfolk of how heroic they were. Foot Squires, they're just one of these units I never see perform. It's weird. Wildwood Rangers and Foot Squires, they're definitely good units in some aspects, because people keep bringing them like top tier players, but they just never seem to work for me. I'm not sure why. And once again here, all of the Foot Squires kind of failed quite miserably. The Archers, on the other hand, though, 420 damage value is not insane, but the other one, 920, very impressive. As for the Quest Knights, 800 damage value and 116. A beautiful little bait set there by the Warriors of Chaos to drag one unit in and then jump. It worked quite nicely. But the Mounted Yeoman Archers, absolutely amazing performance from these guys. 656 damage value, 633, 826 and 1,122. Certainly not too shabby from a bunch of scruffy peasants on horseback. As for the forces of the Warriors of Chaos here, the Ever-Chosen himself, 171 kills, 3,329 damage value, and 18k damage dealt. And on another day, against a opponent with weaker micro, those Burden Heads would have decimated the remaining forces, and he would have soloed the Queen in the end there, or the Fae Enchantress, I should say. Really well played here with the hero core from Chaos Exiled Heroes as well. 800 and 1,200 damage value. They really did get the upper hand in the end on the Bretonnian infantry, on the Bretonnian hero core, but everywhere else that is kind of where the battle was lost, right? These Marauders with great weapons just couldn't get into combat. Basically no damage value on these guys. Likewise, the Chaos Warriors with Halberds, just really bad across the board, due to the fact they just got shot to pieces. Not having shields can be pretty disastrous. The Chariot did good, doing a bit of backline harass, but eventually overextended and was dragged down. And as for the Thronaxes, very impressed he kept them alive for so long due to the early skirmish phases. And they got some pretty good damage value. 767 here, 1,100, nearly 1,000, and 763. Yeah, that's the good stuff. And the Warhounds as well, not doing too shabby, both again in the regions of 500. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was pretty insane. Massive shout out to Alfredino for sending this one in. I always enjoy his replays. And anyone who wants to send them in, keep it coming. Don't ever get disheartened, by the way, if I don't showcase a replay from you. Some people send tons in and don't get cast for a while. Keep sending them in, because I will eventually be able to cast some of your games. And it's not always due to like the quality of the game. It may be like, oh, you've sent in a Lizardmen game and I've already done 3 Lizardmen videos in the last 6 or something, and other reasons like that. But anyway guys, until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.